First of all, I want to thank Shauna Hyde for being here with us. And Shauna, could you just tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I have my PhD in counseling and specialized in trauma. And I'm also a Methodist minister. And currently, I've been working as the executive director at Hope Recovery Manor, helping them get the place open. So
you are wonderful. You're a busy bee. I know you do a lot for the community. And we had the good fortune to meet several years ago in Charleston at a training and have been fortunate enough to work together in our community over the past couple years.
Yes.
And so what we're looking at right now is the ARC and People First of West Virginia wants to support people with disabilities in our community right now because it's kind of a stressful time. There's a lot going on, and we've not dealt with anything like the coronavirus previously. And so we had someone on, the wonderful Pamela Santer, talking about mindfulness, but we also want to look at how people can, in my words, my uninformed words, keep their mental health healthy. And I know that you're a perfect person to share some insight into that, and wondered if you would be able to just talk a little bit about how people can keep healthy right now.
Sure. You've hit on something super important. I've actually received several phone calls from friends over the last few days, too, stating how family members have really gotten down in the dumps, and some folks are struggling. And first is a note to some of you guys who think it's silly to struggle. One of the things we have to remember is not everyone is resilient. Everyone reacts to everything differently. And a lot of what helps us succeed is the support system we have in place. So if you have people who are really helping you, that helps. But not everyone has that. So a lot of people are feeling extra isolated. And some people are just used to being isolated and don't understand what the big deal is. But the thing with especially depression that can kick in right now is it's sort of double-edged. Folks struggling with depression want to be isolated every bit as much as they don't want to be isolated. So it becomes important to do some things, very simple things. And this is something each of us who are quarantined should be doing anyway so that we don't become depressed or anxious. And one of the first things you can do right now is turn off the TV. The constant news and hype is not helpful. Just make a deal with yourself. You'll watch the latest stuff every evening and then leave it be. We don't need the constant barrage, especially if you are prone towards symptoms of anxiety or depression. Take care of yourself. Get up every day, take a shower, get dressed, act like you are going to go out so that you don't allow yourself to sit and become more withdrawn and feel more isolated. Take care of yourself. Call people. This is a great time to touch base with people you haven't spoken with in a while. Catch up. Check on folks. Pick one person a day to call and have a good conversation with them. Do little things. Wipe the counter. Pick something up. That junk pile that's been irritating you for years, clean it out. Sit down several times a day and just take good, deep breaths. Just keep your body calm. Make gratitude lists and change how you think about something. Instead of, I have to stay home, instead think, it's wonderful I can be home. I have a home. I'm safe. I'm warm. I'm dry. I have food in the fridge. And just try to change how you think about something. Don't eat just all junk food. You know, a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs right now kind of slow you down and weigh you down anyway if you're not moving much. So try to eat well. And then try to get some exercise. I'm sort of out in the country, so I can get out and about, and not everyone can do that. So if you have stairs, walk up and down the stairs. Walk around the house. Anything to sort of just get moving, and it'll help your mental health considerably. Make something. Color a coloring sheet. Pick up a hobby you've always wanted to learn how to do. Just try to stay active and productive. but not overly so. You don't need to kill yourself. Enjoy the time. A lot of us say things like, I could get this done if I just had 2 weeks at home. Well, guess what? You have 2 weeks at home. So now you can do those things.
That's wonderful. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that when you talk about exercise, we work with people with all different skills, and some of the people that are self-advocates in our People First groups utilize a wheelchair. And so later on in the week, we're going to have Kat Bigley do an informative session on yoga for people in a chair. And so I know that I am not the most fit person, and so for me, that's kind of a good thing to be able to have a chair and stabilize myself, and people who utilize a wheelchair will be able to participate as well. So I appreciate the variety of options that you're sharing.
And it's good for you to plan those things. All of us tend to view the world from our perspective, and so we can forget that others are different. And being in a wheelchair and doing things in a different way, well, it's nice to be flexible for those. And that's where you hear people say things like take your cans of food and lift them and do stuff like that. Just anything to get your body moving. It's wonderful.
Exactly. I have one last question for you. Doug and I talked a little bit today about what we do to relax. So one of the things that I do, I happen to like classic rock music because of when I was born. And so if I'm stressed or anxious, I just turn up the music really loud and clean my house really well. Is there one particular thing that you like to do when you're feeling stressed?
Well, I play the piano.
Very good.
I've done that since I was 10. And if my husband's watching TV and I can't play the piano, I go garden. And this time of the year, since it's not really gardening time, I'll do other things getting ready to garden. So, yeah, it's great to have something that you do.
Wonderful. Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate your being here and everything that you do for the community and for helping us to keep our mental health healthy right now.
Well, and one thing while I'm thinking of it too, Liz, is I know a lot of the counselors and therapists around town have been super flexible and have been doing a lot of sessions over the phone or through something like telehealth or anything like that. So I just encourage folks that just because you're isolated, don't think you can't speak to a counselor if you need to. Go ahead and call the agency close to you and see what it is they're doing if you need help.
That's wonderful. And if anybody has any questions about numbers, Doug and I can share some information regarding exactly where people can call depending where they are in the state.
Excellent. Yes. Good job. You guys are on it.
Well, we thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and congratulations on moving forward.
Thank you, and you guys too.